Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Global Premier Football Podcast. My name is Coach Chidi. I'm a professional football coach. And today we're going to look at the title race, the English Premier League title race to be precise. And Liverpool has refused to give up their pursuit of a quadruple. And going back to what City did over the weekend, where they lost 2 points to be precise, because if they had won that game, I believe that it would be pretty much over for the title race. But they tied 2-2 with West Ham, and yesterday Liverpool came back from a goal down to beat Southampton. First of all, before we go ahead, sorry about that. I don't envision these things happening during my shows. Apologies for that. Before we go ahead, first of all, congratulations to Eintracht Frankfurt, for beating Rangers of Scotland in the penalty shootout for the Europa League title. I had wanted Rangers to win because of some friends that I have that are Scottish, and as well as some players from Rangers that represent Nigeria at the international level. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Like, as I will always say, whenever it gets down to penalty shootouts, it becomes no one's game. And but just a little bit from this final, Europa League final, I think Aaron Ramsey should have done better with his penalty kick. For me, I think he took that penalty as if it was his debut game as a professional. But with all due respect, it's what it is in the game. You kick well, you score, and that's it. If you don't, like as I said, it's no one's game. Yeah, let's crack into today's show. It will not be a long one, so we're going to focus on the title race, the last fourth place position, which I believe Tottenham has all about taking it all. Arsenal has dropped down like they've been doing for the past couple of seasons. And as well, we'll look a little bit into the last spot for relegation. This is a very, very huge one. Okay, so let's see what we can how we can do justice to our show today. So we look at let's first of all look at Man City and West Ham. So West Ham started pretty well. I think I was really surprised with that game and the way West Ham played and went about. But Man City being Man City will always be Man City, especially Man City of Pep Guardiola. That possession, they had it all. Shots on target, 8 against 2 of West Ham. In total number of shots, Manchester City had 31 shots. 31 shots compared to West Ham's 6 shots. Number of touches on the ball, 876 touches on the ball, where that's like almost triple of what West Ham did. They completed 697 passes, and West Ham had like 189. That is staggering. And tackled, it's almost the same. Clearances, of course, who will be doing the clearances? West Ham will be doing the clearances. They had 40 clearances compared to Man City's 10. And the corners, they had 9 corners for Man City and 4 corners for West Ham. Offside, yellow cards, fouls, all these things play a huge role in who wins a game. And Man City is, for me, Liverpool is good to dream. It's no hard feelings for Liverpool, but I will always say this: Man City has won this title. Whether it is half a point, whether it is goal difference. I remember back then, some couple of months ago, Liverpool had a superior goal difference to Man City. But now, Man City has more goals. I saw a funny statistics out there that if Man City should lose by 5 goals, and then if I can't remember what that statistics was, but it was a funny one. Yeah, Liverpool tying their game by 5-5, and then Man City losing by 5-0, 6-0, something like that. I mean, who on earth will think that Man City is going to go about to lose their last game of the season and in their home ground? I mean, what are people thinking about? Realistically, because the game is so real. It's a realistical game. It's not FIFA. You don't have your control pads and then you are like, oh, Liverpool. No, it's not the FIFA tournament that you play on your console. It is real life scenario right now, and we are talking about top quality, top class players. And who are Man City going to play in their last game of the season? And who are Liverpool going to play? Liverpool, I believe they are playing Wolves, and Aston Villa is playing Man City at Man City's home ground. So even if Steven Gerrard plays against Man City, they will still win. They will still lose. Man City will still win that match. So I do not believe that Man City is ever going to drop the last game of the season. That is their last game. They don't have a Champions League final to look forward to. They do not have any other final to look forward to, and that is winner takes it all. And you think Man City is going to lose? No, I do not believe that. Man City is never going to lose against Aston Villa. No matter how much Aston Villa will give for that day, they will lose. And I believe they will lose by a wide margin. Actually, that reminds me, I need to go take away Martinez from my fantasy team because he is my goalkeeper. So I'm going to replace him with either Edward Mendy or I have to replace him with Ederson, because I believe that day on May 22nd on Sunday, he will be picking a lot of balls out of his net that day because Man City will come rioting. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there is nothing that is impossible in this game of football. Everything is possible. And guess what? I don't think there will be any miracle that will give Liverpool the title on May the 22nd. And Wolves as well can still pull up a surprise. These are professionals paid to do their job. So, what? We think that Man City is just going to go to sleep? You think that Wolves will just like, oh, because we like Liverpool, let them go ahead and win the title and just beat us and then, no. Everyone is going to give their best, So, what is my verdict? Man City will beat Aston Villa black and blue come Sunday. If you can, leave your comments on the comment section, and tell me what you think about that. Now let's move ahead to what happened, on that day. West Ham went 2-0 up. Wow, Jared Bowen, what a season he's having. And I was thinking, wow, will Man City come back? Definitely that we're going to come back, because imagine, look at the possession. A team that has that amount of possession and the quality that Man City possesses, if it's just like any other team, maybe a team at West Ham's level and have that possession and West Ham go 2-0 up, and I don't think they would come back. But a team of Manchester City's quality and they go 2-0 up, 2-0 down, with Jared Bowen scoring 2 wonderful goals, but look at the number of shots. Look at the number of passes. Look at the number of touches. Look at the number of clearances West Ham were doing. 40 clearances, from their own half, from their own 18-yard box. So what do you think would happen? Absolutely, Man City were going to come back to win that game. And that is when you are, I don't know how much you can keep pressure, how much you can, withstand pressure. And guess what? Man City kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And at the end of the day, West Ham scored an own goal to make it 2-2. And that was as good enough for Man City to wait until the final day of the season. Because against West Ham, they were playing in the London Stadium, so they were still away. But they are ending the season in their home ground. So is going to be buzzing at the Etihad come Sunday, and I am looking forward to that. I'm not a Manchester City fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. We are long away from the title race. We lost it down the road, but we have as well. We've gotten our Champions League spot ready for next season, so I'm looking forward for what next season holds for Chelsea. But for Manchester City, I do not want Liverpool to do a quadruple. Of course, I don't want them to do it, but I know that they were not going to do it. See what happened in the cup game against Chelsea. Mo Salah had to come off. Why? Because there's a greater prize. And for me, I believe that the UEFA Champions League final is a bigger prize than the Premier League for Liverpool. Not because that is not a big prize, but I think if you're in a Champions League final, what you're waiting for is that you want to leave that giant trophy. You want to leave the orejona, that's what we call it in Spanish. The big-eared trophy, that's what you want to win. And Liverpool cannot risk not having their full squad ready for that final. And that is what led to them fielding the team that they fielded, against Southampton yesterday. Southampton, we are playing a 1-5-4-1 formation with a back five, and Liverpool in their normal unchangeable formation all the time. Their system remains the same. That's why I like them. They don't compromise their system of play. They trust what work the coach has been doing, and they stick to that. And that is why they stick to their 1-4-3-3 formation. Their back four almost changed. Ibrahim Konate, Van Dijk was not playing. Robertson was not playing. Trent Alexander was not playing. All they had to rest them because they had 120 minutes against Chelsea in the FA Cup finals on Saturday, and the midweek game, of course, they have to rest these guys because in 2 weeks they will be in Paris playing against Real Madrid. And for them, that's a revenge game. So I don't see them compromising the Champions League finals just because they want to win the Premier League. And besides, the Premier League is not in their hands to win. So why should they not field, their second string team and look forward to doing what? Having their full strength squad to play Madrid come May 28th. So that's the lineup they gave. Even James Milner started, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott come back from injury, Roberto Firmino, Takumi Minamino, and Diogo Jota. All these are like second string players, and these players will be first team players in any team, but in Liverpool they're all coming from the bench because of what the task that is ahead of the team on May 28th. So, and then Southampton 5-4-1, woof, in the first couple of minutes, bang it, they scored in the 13th minute, and that was like a rude awakening for Liverpool. But what champions are made of. Liverpool they are champions for me, but they are not the Premier League champions. They are champions as a team, because they've won titles over and over and over. If they want to win the Premier League, they have to be consistent in winning their games, and try to beat Man City. Don't go for those ties that you draw against Man City in their home, they draw against you at at Anfield, and then because at the end of the day as well, remember, it's all about how many goals scored, and right now Man City have a superior goal difference against them. But what happened? Back to that funny statistics someone gave me, that if Liverpool tie their game against Wolves 5-5 and then Man City loses their game against Aston Villa by 6 goals or 5-0, that there will be a playoff, to decide the winner of the league, because they will have the same goal difference, they have the same point. But that ain't gonna happen at all. It's never going to happen. Man City will sweep away Aston Villa come Sunday, because that is their last game of the season. That is the peak of their season. They have not won any other trophy this season, so at least they have to win the biggest domestic prize in English football, which is the Premier League. So what happened in that game? Let's look at the stats against Southampton and Liverpool here. Liverpool had possession of the ball, 70.9%, of the ball all the time. Shots on target, 5 shots on target, scoring 2 goals. Total number of shots, they had 24. My goodness, their touches on the ball, 938. That was double of what Southampton had. Southampton had 496 touches on the ball, and the number of passes almost triple. They had 734 passes of the ball, and Southampton had only 300. This tells you the difference in class between Liverpool and Southampton and many other Premier League teams. The same way Man City. These are the best 2 teams in the world. Honestly speaking, I know that Man City lost against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final, but on a good day, Man City will beat Madrid. I think there were lapses. Let's not go over there. That's a topic for another day. But honestly speaking, these 2 teams are the best teams in the world right now. The type of football they play, the consistency in their game, they don't drop their standard. They don't compromise their standard of play for anyone. No matter what, if you want, pack the bus. Play 6-3-1 if you want to. No matter what you want to play, they will still play their 4-3-3 formation. And they will come at you. The way they play their game is so attractive to watch. Even if you're not a Liverpool fan, even if you're not a Man City fan. So that's one of the things I like about watching them. I enjoy watching Chelsea. Unfortunately, we are not consistent. But if you watch Liverpool, watch Man City's games, they are consistent. Even with the second 11 that comes on, the substitutes that come on, Simicas when he comes on, James Milner, starting the game yesterday, Harvey Elliott as well, Diogo Jota, Firmino, these are guys that they keep the same level that Sadio Mane, Salah, even Diaz, the level of the game that they keep the whole thing together, they just keep going. And back again to the statistics, if you look at the number of tackles, Liverpool tackled more, they wanted the ball more, 18, because they were also chasing the game. When they went 1-0 down, everyone was like, of course Man City will be happy. That takes off some pressure from them. But they came back, and when they came back, what happened? Who scored for them? And then down the line again into the second half, Southampton scored in the 13th minute. It only took Liverpool a couple of minutes in the 27th minute, and they came back. And that was Takumi Minamino. The finishing from Minamino was I didn't know he was going to score in that range, and how he roofed the ball. It was a ferocious shot from Takumi, and that tells you the standard set by the team, the standard set by the club, the standard set by the manager, who is the captain of the ship, right there, And then in the second half, Joel Matip. Not the best of headers, but the placement was exceptional. He put it right to the top right of the net. And that was just good enough to seal it. And that is why we have a final day showdown. Will there be a magical moment? I have given my predictions as a human being. But what could happen that day? That Liverpool ends up winning the Premier League. That will be the craziest. This will be more crazier than when Leicester won the Premier League. It will be more crazier than when Leicester won the Premier League, honestly speaking, because these are 2 teams that have fought for this title right from the first to the last day of the season, and that is adrenaline for 38 games, everyone playing. Liverpool will play, they will win, and then we'll wait to see what Man City will do, and they will win, and then both of them will play against each other, and they will tie the game too. Like, come on, So I think the scariest of what happened this past match week, week 37, was that West Ham was able to tie or to draw their game against Man City. We were not expecting it, but also we know that West Ham they've had a good season, and it was time, and so they surprised everyone, and good for them. They got their point. Anyway, that's all about Liverpool and Man City going down till the final day of the season. Now let's talk about the last fourth position, because Chelsea has taken the third position. Arsenal became Arsenal again. Arsenal post Arsene Wenger became Arsenal again. They dropped and they dropped. When they beat Chelsea, like, oh my goodness, I was actually scared because I thought they are going to take the third position. But losing to Newcastle, I saw that coming. Because Newcastle have been playing very, very well and playing in front of their home fans. The last home game for Newcastle, they had to win that game. They had to win it. And that was a very, very good display. Newcastle were the best team from the first minute to the last minute. And you were wondering, what's gone wrong with Arsenal? What's gone wrong with Arsenal? I don't know what's gone wrong with Arsenal. I think they don't have the right personnel. I don't know if Arteta is the right man for them, although he might be able to grow with the team. I think he might be able to grow with the team. But I think for now, they have to make do with fifth position and play Europa League. That's what I think. Because I don't think they have the right, and I mean, the consistency in the team. For you to be able to be a top 4 team, you have to be consistent. Now, I remember when, going back to what Spurs have been doing, I remember when they tied their game away to Burnley. Antonio Conte was very, very angry. He was very, very disappointed. He questioned if he was the right man to lead them. But here again, they have picked up form, stayed consistent, were able to play against Liverpool and get a point. They almost beat Liverpool. And I think it's because of the mentality of the coach. If the mentality of the coach is high demanding and everything like Antonio Conte, that's why Spurs will end up top 4. And that was my prediction. Even when Arsenal had some 8 points ahead of Spurs, I knew, seeing the fixtures, that Tottenham will end up in the top 4th position. So for the next Champions League, English Premier League representative for Champions League will be Man City, Liverpool, in this order. In this order, it will Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham Hotspur. And I also think that Arsenal might lose some points again against Everton on the last day, because Everton is fighting to survive. And I have seen the way they play. And I have seen the intensity with which they play. Just that sometimes they lose it. And when they lose it, that's when they end up the game with a red card and they go down. But guess what? They go down one man and they're still playing. And they are still playing. Their last game in which they played and lost to Brentford, if they had finished that game with 11 men, I believe that they would have won that game. But Brentford is a very, very good team, at least for this season from what I've seen. They beat Chelsea. They are a very, very good team. So that's what is going to happen. For my prediction, I think Burnley will go down. That's my prediction. Feel free to leave your comments down below, in the comment section. But I think Burnley will go down. I think Leeds will survive. I think so. I think Leeds will survive. And personally, I want Leeds to survive. Reason, I don't know, but just my prediction. I think Burnley will go down. I think Everton will survive. And I think Leeds will survive. So that's my prediction. And if you have a different prediction for who will go down and who will stay, who will join Watford and Norwich in the Championship next season, drop your comments down there. That's all we'll have for today, guys. And thank you very much for tuning in and being part of our show. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and looking forward to the next couple of games. There are some games tomorrow, and for those games tomorrow, I think Everton playing against Crystal Palace is going to be a good game. I think Everton will win Crystal Palace. I think Villa will beat Burnley, and Chelsea will win against Leicester. That's my prediction for tomorrow. Everton, I don't know the scoreline. I'm not going to say the scoreline, but I think Everton will beat Crystal Palace tomorrow. Aston Villa will beat Burnley, and Chelsea will beat Leicester. Aston Villa beating Burnley and Everton beating Crystal Palace is the defining point of who stays up in the Premier League next season, especially between Everton and Burnley. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, and I'm looking forward to catching you in the next time. All right, this is Coach Chidi, and let's enjoy the rest of the season. One match week to go. The 38th match of the season comes on Sunday. Who will be champions? For me, it is Manchester City. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.